It is time to stop seeking validation from a world who crucified a perfect man. This is Epic Thoughts. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Epic Thoughts. I'm your host, Roman. As always, bro, 21 days. We are 21 days into the first month of the year, and 2025 has already shown it's more of the same. It is a crazy 21 days. We have gone through, especially in Southern California, man. We've had these huge, massive fires in LA. 100 miles per hour winds, hurricane like. It literally feels like hurricanes out here. We had a bad one. We had a red flag warning. Red flag warning in our area means that we got more winds, a lot of dryness with the winds. We have red flags warning all the way up until late last night, I believe it was, the 20th. Forecast got more coming in this week. It's just, wow, just the stuff that's been happening in the last 21 days. The like January is here. 2025 is here, ladies and gentlemen, and and it means business, and it really do. It really do. Just the last 4 days, just the last 3-4 days have been crazy. Hey, thanks for hopping on my podcast. Do me a favor and check on your Gen Z kids. Make sure that they're okay. Make sure they're doing all right, because they had a strong little 20 hours there, 12 hours between Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. It was really hard for a lot of Gen Zs. I didn't think, and it was, the ban on TikTok happened Saturday night, Saturday the 18th, and I didn't think it was. I'm not on TikTok that much. I just started using TikTok like consistently, so I haven't gotten to the point where I felt the difference between TikTok and like IG. So I haven't really, discovered the depths of what TikTok does. So I wasn't really that thrown off when it went dark. I just went on to see if it really went dark, and it went dark, bro. Like, I was like, they really did this. I from what I've been hearing reports about is that it went dark, in the Pacific, on the Pacific coast, on the West Coast where we are. They meant midnight, whatever time they were at, it was gonna shut off. So when it shut off at midnight, whatever time zone they was in, it was everywhere. So that means for California, it wasn't midnight for us, it was 8. And so people were trying to get their pictures off. I have a friend who sells things and has orders placed, and it's all through her TikTok. So when TikTok went down, she couldn't get her orders out, and she had a bunch of them, and she's a little panicky about it. So I didn't realize how big of a deal this thing was till Sunday. I went to church and talking to some of the young people. I'm like, they're really feeling this. They're really feeling this pain of TikTok being gone. Like, some people were not okay. They just weren't okay. And it was almost amusing to me how torn a lot of these kids were. But praise the Lord, man. I like, legit, praise the Lord, came back. By noon, it was like I changed my mind. Or let's be real. Let's be real and say what really happened. President Trump, then elect president, now president. Let's see what really happened. People say, well, he stopped the ban. He didn't stop the ban. He just extended the ban for 90 days. So that means that within the next 90 days, if there's not a sale in place, then this is what people need to understand. Young people understand this. Him stopping the ban, he didn't stop the ban. He just extended the ban for 90 days. He legally, even being president of the United States, cannot stop this ban. Okay. All he can do is give a stay for 90 days. And in that 90 days, they have to figure out a sale has to be in process to stop the ban. So this doesn't change anything. TikTok still, at this point, TikTok still needs to be sold to an American-based company, or else it will go dark in 90 days. So this is not a win or anything like that. This is just a Band-Aid. So be mindful of that. But yeah, he came in and he saved TikTok for 90 days. This is crazy. Crazy. LA is still on fire. We've seen the worst. I think the Palisades is at this point like 70% contained, 80% contained. Most of the flaming up is gone. We don't call, again, I said this on the last show, we don't call contained meaning out. We because sometimes there's hot ash and we gotta be monitored hot ash and stuff like that. So just because there's no flame ups doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. The hot ash can float and set something else ablaze, which is why the red flag warnings were in effect. That means basically, hey, we're not out of this. Something can happen. But praise the Lord, we've gone through another tumultuous win. Santa Ana's what we call them, Santa Ana wins. We had a tumultuous Santa Ana wins, and praise the Lord that nothing came out of that. We didn't have a breakdown from that. We didn't have flare-ups and stuff like that. But let's talk about what really we want to talk about. Man, yesterday. Wow. There's so much to unpack at the inauguration of the 47th president of the United States, Donald Trump. Now, we have some video footage. For whatever reason, before we got to going on our video footage, all our audio for the video went out. So we're going to be showing what we could show without audio, which is stupid, but we got to do what we got to do. This is just from the Associated Press. This is the Associated Press, and just some highlights. There's Trump with Biden right there, and their wives, Jill and Melania. The Clintons show up. There's Mike Pence right there, President Obama, President Joe Biden, and then Vice President Harris at the inaugural. And here comes the 47th president, Donald J. Trump. Man, this was so. I had so many thoughts. Oh, this is my favorite part. Him kissing Melania was so funny. First of all, fabulous. She's fabulous. That jawline is incredible. That hat, he couldn't even get to her. That hat was like defense. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, you ain't getting me today. But that was one of my favorite parts, was the kissing. That was hilarious. It's crazy when you think about this. Like, let's. I'm not going to go back to the video. That's stupid. It's crazy when you think about just 4 short years ago, we were talking about how the January 6th thing that happened and people stormed the Capitol. Like that was just 4 years ago, where a riot was at the Capitol in the same room. Just think about it, in the same room that President Trump made his speech last night. That was the same room that all those people forced their way into the Capitol building. And that's the room where they were taking the selfies and all kind of stuff, where incumbents were literally running for their lives, and people in the Congress were trying to escape death, because that's pretty much what had happened. And 4 years later, we return to the scene of the crime pretty much. And there was a peaceful transfer of power. This is nuts. Like, all because certain people or certain individuals didn't want a peaceful transfer of power in 2020. People say that the election, whatever, there wasn't a peaceful transfer of power. And we returned to the scene of the crime 4 years later. And I personally am in just this. I watched the highlights of it. I have other things going on. I have more important things than to focus on this. And people are like, what do you mean this is a very big deal? Life is going to happen regardless of what happened yesterday, right? But I know this is something that people are caring about so much. And I have a thought about politics in our country, and I'll get to it in just one few moment here. Just if you give me a shot, you just hear me out for a few minutes, then I get back to it. Just the whole thing was I don't know. You're talking, and here, mind you, you're talking to somebody who's I'm neither. I don't have a dog in this fight, right? I laugh at politics. I laugh at politics, and I'm not a Democrat at all. I'm not a hardcore Republican. I have my own political party that I'm part. I'm not my own, but I have my own party. I have a party that I'm part of, and I'm a third party person. So I lean. Okay, so I lean left or right. So I have to know the policy, the placement, and all that other stuff, and I'll tell you where I stand on it. So I'm neither one. So this is always entertaining for me. But this whole thing has been so weird to me. And yesterday, he returns to the scene of the crime, and it's business as usual, right? These two people, including we can include Kamala Harris to this. They've been at each other for like at least the last 5-6 years, and I'm like, it's not pretty. Like, the beef between the Bidens and the Trumps and the Harrises, and even you could throw the Obamas in there and the Clintons in there. It has not been pretty for 9 years, bro. Like, think about it. Think about it for a second. Trump first showed up on the scene running for president in 2015, and he destroyed the RNC, and then ended up taking the presidency in 2016. And for 9 years now, we're in 2015. For 9 years, it's been the ugliest I've ever seen political stuff run. It's been the ugliest I've ever seen this thing. It's god awful to me. It's god awful. And to see them all in one room during this inauguration, to see them stand and bitter Bernie Sanders, that was funny. Just sitting there. Looks like he hasn't moved since the Bernie meme. It's just it's senseless, right? What was it, governor? Is he a governor? John Fetterman showing up in shorts. Like, this is a joke, man. Our politics are a joke, and the American people are so divided over this political game that people play, and it's a mad joke, bro. It's a mad joke. Like, think about this for a second. The hot button topics that we fight over, that Americans fight against each other about, they never get changed. I've seen our country with Democratic presidents, and I've seen them with Republican presidents, and the hot button topics never change. So it's like Roe v. Wade. I heard a crazy fact. Roe v. Wade, ever since the overturn of Roe v. Wade, abortions have gone up triple. We've had triple the abortions since the overturn of Roe v. Wade. So it's like, yo, these politicians are just hitting the button to get us to join their cause or be a dog in their fight, but they're not making any difference to what we're doing. Like, they're not changing our way of life. Now, I'm hoping as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, I when it comes to fiscal stuff, I lean right because I need I need to be protected from big corporations. I need to have a foot in the door. I want to make sure I have good boxing gloves to go up against, different cultures and stuff. And lately, the Democrat Party has been just a pooch screw on all levels. So I understand that there's certain things that will change, but man, this was a crazy series of events, and it happened in like 11 to 12 hours yesterday. Donald Trump is officially the new president of the United States again. And there's so many things. There's so many things to discuss about this whole situation. Like, for example, like what normally, right? Normally when a president takes over, the people that are sitting in the front row behind him are the cabinet. Like, can we get a picture? Like, do we have one on the video? Let me see if I can pull it up. If I could find this picture, if we can get the clip of it, I will pause it so we can see it. Like the audacity, the blatancy. Okay. There's the inauguration. Trump is right there. Kamala right there. Joe Biden. Like, stop right there. That's it. That picture right there is the blatancy of what we're experiencing. And I know if you don't know what we're looking at, I'm going to show you who we're looking at. Those 4 individuals, 5, because I think those individuals, think about it. That's the president and the founders and the CEOs of Twitter, Google, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Amazon. Those people, that picture you see, control at least 25% of the world's wealth. 20 to 25% of the world's wealth is controlled by the people you see in this picture. They're in the front row. Each one of those individuals have given to the cause of President Trump. At least $1 million each. That right there is, and on top of that, think about it. In this day and age where we're at today, our conversation and our language and how we speak to each other is through those guys right there. The voice of the world is sitting right there. That to me was huge. To see that image to me was a huge image. Like, that picture that I just showed you is very clear and concise of where we are as a country, right? I thought about this thought and I said, what if these politicians, and don't get me wrong, Trump is different, right? He is different. He's not political. He's not politically correct. He doesn't say the right things. And maybe that's why people love him so much. But it's the people with all the money and all the control are pushing buttons to make the poor people fight each other. And I feel like that's what American is. I feel like this is like one big trap. And it's boiling over. It's boiling over in our schools. It's boiling over even in our churches today. I have a friend who worked at a church and had to turn in their resignation because this is a gospel preaching Pentecostal. I don't know if they're Pentecostal, but there's a missions church. It's a church based on missions and the mission field. And he is hardcore about getting people saved. He told his staff this weekend that if you even voted for anyone other than Trump, you might as well just turn in your resignation. And my friend, without hesitation, turned in the resignation. And it wasn't like she was shocked that everyone else voted for Trump. There's people out there who are just true Americans and say, I'll vote. I'll let my voice be heard. And then I'm going to pray for whoever wins. Right. I'm like that. I'll vote and whoever wins, I pray for them. If my guy doesn't win, like there's worse things that can happen. Like, for example, we can live in a country where we can't get rid of our leader. There's countries that can't get rid of their leader. Like, homeboy has been over Russia for decades. They can't shake him. He won't go nowhere. Before him was Gorbachev, right? So there's countries that the leader or they're not even a president, because presidents are elected officials, but their king or their president or whatever they call them, you can't get them out. They gotta die for them to leave. They just don't give up that easily, give up power that easily. They run their countries with an iron fist. So it's amazing how people, like, there's people who have that self-harm, there's people who are losing their mind, there's homes, like divorces. Women have divorced their husbands because they voted for Donald Trump. And I'm like, bro, it's 4 more years. Like, and the other thing, thank God for America to have a we have policies that now our policies protect us, and our policies, some people don't like our policies, and some Americans don't understand our policies. Like, there's people in our country who don't know our policies. You gotta listen. You can't not pay attention in any kind of substance where they taught you policies and try to act like you know everything about what's going on in the government. Like, right? Like, we are in an unprecedented area. We are in an unprecedented time because we have a president who, yes, is a convicted felon. So there's that too. But we have policies for that too, right? We, like, a sitting president cannot do prison time, but he can do it after he serves. The other thing is, this is his second term. So after these 4 years, we don't have to deal with him again, right? We have to deal with him in office again. Yeah, and some people are sad about that because they want him to stay in office. I think personally, I think we're gonna be okay. Like, I think we're gonna be okay. I think COVID happened because I do personally believe that the other side weaponized COVID and made it what it was to make President Trump look bad so they can take the election. I don't think steal it, but they did take it from him. And they used the media and all this other stuff to make him look extremely bad. So I do believe that there's some things going on in the realm of free speech and media and propaganda. That is very clear and evident. And if you don't see that, I don't know what's wrong with you. So I do think that stuff did happen. So hopefully that we just need to, like, and Dave Chappelle said on Saturday Night Live, and we were going to show that clip, but we don't have audio. He says, I hope he does better. But then he looked at the camera and says, I hope we all need to do better. And that's true. We all need to do better. We all need to do better. We all need to come together, man. We got to let this petty stuff go aside. Okay, you vote this way, I vote that way. That's fine. Let's go get a burger. Like, we have to let that junk go, bro. Like, there's friends that I've had for years, and I'm a very loyal friend, to the point where it's hard for me to make new friends because I don't do new well. I don't do new friendships well. My friends have gone through the test of time with me. So they're my people, if that makes sense to you. I have people who've been friends with me for years, and I trust them wholeheartedly. The longer I know them, the more I trust them. I just have trust issues. So for some people, my day ones that I've known for 13, 14 years, we cry together, we ride together, we fought together, we fought people, we got kicked out of Disneyland together. And then all of a sudden, you don't fool with me because I went right with my voting and you want to go left. Like, yo, we've always been different. Why can't we still be friends? It's entirely stupid. So with that being said, we need to get back to being together and our country coming together. And our country always came together regardless of who the president was. It's always been a place where we can come together. But I found it very funny that some of the same people that went against him, the Bezos, Musk wasn't really for him all the time, right? All these people now with him. And then we don't have the audio for it again, but his speech, Trump's speech, y'all. I know you heard it, and some of you guys are looking at it with like rose-colored glasses. There's some things he said where I was like, dang. And I don't believe in Agenda 20. I don't believe in what other people has been talking about with bringing back slavery and stuff like that. I don't believe in that. But there are some things that I was just like, okay. I felt like I was watching a Simpsons episode. I did. I really did. I felt like I was watching a Simpsons episode. I felt like he was. I feel like I was watching The Simpsons and President Trump was president. And even when he walked out, I was like, I feel like I saw this on The Simpsons. And there's the Simpsons theory. I was like, maybe this is the term that The Simpsons get right. But it felt like a Simpsons episode. It was. When he said the Gulf of Mexico no longer we call Gulf of Mexico, but the Gulf of America. I was like, what? I was like, okay, I guess. And he was in the way this man. The one thing I do like about him is he don't care. Like he does not care. He don't care if you're around him or not. If he don't like you, he gonna say he don't like you. If he doesn't fool with you, it's gonna be clear and evident he don't fool with you. When this man started talking about we're gonna change everything, change the direction, everything that we did, everything that's been happening in the last 4 years, we're gonna turn it around. I'm signing executive orders today. And I got my cabinet out in the world right now, in the country, in the streets, and we're going to bring down prices. We're going to take inflation, bring it down. Everything that this last group did, we're undoing it. And I'm like, yo, they right there. Like, they was right there. They was standing right next to him. And listen, Biden is just smiling like this was hilarious. It was like he's right there. And all I could think to myself was that he know they could. Maybe Biden doesn't hear him, which is it's very clear it could be that Biden don't hear him. The other thing that I found was very hilarious was while he's making his speech, and I don't know how this is how you know this is a game. This is how you know that this is a game. This isn't they playing us. While he's giving the speech, somebody makes the announcement on CNN that the Biden family, the whole family, sons and wife, have all been pardoned. That Joe Biden pardoned everybody, his family, his friends, and anybody in his close circle. They've pardoned him. So, bro, like, think about that for a second. So he's standing there. He couldn't just go out and do it. He's sitting there, and they announce it while he's sitting there. So when did he sign this order? So this was something that he had planned to do this is his last move as president. He was president for like the last 20 minutes of his life being president. He pardons all these people. Like this right here is that's how I know. This is how I know we are living in a time warp. Like this joint is crazy. This joint is crazy. And I don't understand why we're not getting audio because I really want to play this audio for you. What's going on here? Is audio not coming off my computer? Is that what it is? Audio's not coming off my computer. Oh, I'm dumb. Let's try this again. Echo. These are excerpts. These are excerpts from his inaugural speech. Hopefully these play. No, it's not playing. No, still not playing. It's crazy. I don't know. What did we lose on audio? And the funny thing is that we're live, so there's nothing much I can do about it. So, which stinks because some of the things he said was so like, this is happening, guys. Our president, our 47th president is Donald Trump, Donald Jonathan Trump again. Now, let me just be, before I get myself in hot water, let me just say this. I'm not too upset about it. I'm not upset about him being president. I don't have beef with President Trump. I did think he's the better candidate over Kamala Harris. I was not trying to live in a world where she was president. That's for sure. Kamala, in my opinion, I got some personal vendetta against her. Personal things I've shared on this show before, but I don't need to get into it now. But listen, as a Californian that's dealt with certain people in this country, certain people in this state, she's being one of them. I will never give her she can't even run my PTA meeting. Like, absolutely not. So that wasn't going to happen. But and so I was happy that the country kind of saw that as well, saw through the facade, because it is a facade. VP Harris did not do a good job as a VP. She just didn't do well. So I don't want to come off as a Trump hater. What I am is, sometimes I wonder if people not seeing it, do they not see it? Like, I understand what he brings to the table, and for me, and this is a funny thing too, for me, an entrepreneur, a business person, the concept of having, or the idea of having Trump in office is incredible, right? It benefits me. But there's people who are arguing. The people who argue, neither candidate benefits you. They just make you feel better about yourself and your confirmation bias. Like, because a lot of people don't have a lot of things going for them. For this is what they fight over, and so I just, that's just how I feel about it. People may think differently, but hey. Anyways, but sometimes I'm like, I understand both sides of the argument. I understand where a lot of pro-Trump people, they were just tired of the wokeness. I was tired of the wokeness. They're tired of looking at girls and saying that's a boy. And like, I get it. I'm part of it too. I didn't like it. Didn't feel like it should be taught in school. I'm very strong stance on that. I'm a very strong stance on what is a reproductive rights. I have stands on that. So I understand the people who are pro-Trump, but then at the same time, I listen to the other argument and I understand why. I don't think he's racist. He's clearly, to me, not racist, but I understand why they would say stuff. And if we don't make it, they don't make it better. Like when Elon did this thing, like, what? I just can't stop thinking about it. That Elon did the Nazi thing. And I thought to myself, well, when he was dancing, I thought to myself, he's so weird. Elon's always been like a weird guy. Like, my running gag is Elon and Bezos. Now you can add Zuck in there. And even the dude does TikTok. They're like Batman villains. Like, they have the personality of, like, not even Batman villains, sorry, DC villains. They look like what was the bad guys in the Justice League? They had the name too. Not the Unjustice League, but it was the Legion of Doom. They look like the Legion of Doom, right? Like Elon at one point looked like Elon at one point looked like the Penguin. Bezos clearly is Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor clearly. And now Zuck looks like the Riddler. Like, they look like Batman villains. It's not even funny anymore. Like, it's becoming more and more like that. And so I credit when Elon did this thing. To me, it was like, yo, man, you are like, he's he's trying to be cool. He's excited. He doesn't know what to do with his body. He's not a public speaker. He doesn't know quorum like that. And so he's just odd. He's just odd. It was like a one-time thing. I was like, okay. Well, he turned to the crowd and he did it again. And I was like, is he like people were, everybody, of course, everybody's like, that's a Nazi sign. And I was like the same as Jon Stewart, where I was like, is he like showing love? I'm giving my heart out to you. Like, is that what he's trying to do? But even then, that motion's not this. Motion's like, he's like, oh, you can't make this up. This is the world we live in, guys. That was, I'm sorry. It was funny. It was just funny to me. Yeah, it was so funny. I'm looking at my notes now. I gotta go to my notes. I do think that there is some level of common sense that's coming back to our country now that Trump's in office. I do believe that. I am curious of what the next 100 days are going to be. Some of the policies that we've already heard about, policy of now we recognize men and there's only two sexes. All right. I never thought that I live in a world where a president has to overturn another president statement of saying we recognize two sexes. Like to think that there was a grown person, a grown man, and a grown man, okay, who's almost twice my age, who's backed by a grown black woman, literally tell a bunch of grown folks that there's more than two sexes. Like that right there is so much. I can't believe I lived in a world where that was common conversation. That it took another grown man to come in and say, we're only recognizing two sexes. Like, I think about it. That would if I let you go back to 95 of me leaving high school, that is now my bingo card at all. Like, what do you think 2000 is gonna be like? I'm in flying cars. I knew there was gonna be phones on our watches. I knew that was happening. There's things I really knew was going to happen. I knew there was going to be phones on our watches. I knew that I thought there were video phones, but we're getting there. Glasses. I knew that we had the glasses that did the, you could use the internet on your glasses. I knew that was coming. There's a lot of things I was very hopeful for. So I would have gotten some marks. There's two that have never been on my bingo card. Three that have never been on my bingo card is Donald Trump being president. Ever a grown man telling me that there's more than two genders, and the Clippers not winning a final. I thought by now we are 30 years. This is not, but like I thought the Clippers would win a final by now. Like that, and I know this is not about them. This is not about them. This is not about, it's about me. But dang it, man. I really seriously just got really sad. Like they haven't even made it to the final. They still have not been to the finals. They've been to the Western Conference final, but we haven't been. 30 years. I'm at least get to the finals by then. And, I get really sad. So Trump has an inauguration. Immediately, the left media goes crazy on him. This is when I started having the thoughts I was having. The left immediately go crazy on him on media. Like horrible Jimmy Kimmel gets up and he's toxic as hell. Can't stand that man. Jimmy Kimmel comes and he's toxic. Jon Stewart, he's commentary, so and some other people, but I'm just like, we're doing this again, right? And it always drives me mad because I know part of me thinks that here's my conspiracy theory. My conspiracy theory is that all these rich people that are going after Trump really love him, but they get paid money to trash him, right? They're part of the machine. These people ain't against each other. Look, the way Trump and Biden just like met each other, shook each other's hands at the front of the like you don't talk to me like the way you do, and then just walk up to me and I gotta give you my job, and then we go have tea. Like you're just not gonna do that. Like you're not gonna talk trash about me, and then you talk trash about my wife, and then you walk up with your wife, and then we supposed to go in the back and have tea. Yeah, that's just because that's what we do. Like, nah, homie. Like, I'm mad still. Like, we gonna have words in front. We going on. It's like on site. Like these two people were beefing like hardcore. And look, I'm not coming. Like that's why the only person I think was real in this scenario is Michelle Obama. That woman was like, I'm not coming. She stood on business. Like, listen, I'm not coming. When is it? Yeah, I'm not coming. Like she was like, I'm not coming to this. This is, you know what she said? You know what he'd be saying about me? I'm not coming. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else, because that's what we do. And that's why I was like, this is a game, bro. This is a stage play that they're putting on. It's, you know what this is? This is Twilight 2.0, right? Remember Twilight, where people were losing their minds over Edward and I was going to say the cow, the horse. Oh, the wolf. Edward and was it Jake? Okay. Edward and whoever the dude was. Taylor Lautner's character. Like, that's what it was. It never made a difference who really won because it changed nothing for us. That's what this political game. And yet they're still in the same movie. You know? Same movie. That's what this is. And the big joke on this happened on Martin Luther King Day. This happened on Martin Luther King Day. I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about the next 4 years. I really, really am. But we forgot, it maybe in the lieu of it being MLK Day, we remember what he stood for, what he wanted for us, what he wanted this country to be, the dream that he said that he dreamt about this country. He didn't dream for it to be this separated. He didn't dream for us to be cults inside of a cult. You know, he didn't dream of the world that we live in today. You know, this is not what he had in mind. And I think that in lieu, again, of everything that happened, if he could do it again, he'd turn in his grave. I mean, if he could, he would turn in his grave. It's just been a very crazy time. And we got 4 more years of Trump in office. And I think he's going to do a good job. Because I personally, I thought he did a great job in 2016. I did. There's a lot of factors you got to look at when it comes to the quality of a president. And I think Trump, was he one of the best in my lifetime? No. He clearly wasn't the worst. I honestly, personally believe Biden was the worst of my lifetime. I mean, I was born on during Carter. So many people will argue that Carter was worse than Biden, but I don't know anything about that. I was newborn. So, but yeah, I felt like Biden was the worst we've had. If I was to do the best, again, I don't know. Because I've been in different stages of life through different presidencies, right? The first time I even paid attention to presidents, and going as a kid, I thought Ronald Reagan was like the best dude in the world because he was the president of the United States, and I was 10. So I was like, yeah, he's the best. So I want to be the president of the United States because times were different back then. We didn't crap on our presidents, right? So I thought Reagan was great. Then I thought George W. Bush was great. So when I became a high schooler, I think my first time voting, I voted for Bill Clinton because there's just, I just felt comfortable with Bill Clinton. He played the saxophone on MTV. So I'm pretty sure that's not why I voted for him, but I did vote for him. So I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. I think he'll be okay. I think people need to chill. I'm really I'm really curious about the next election, right? Because here's the other side of it. We can't keep going back and forth we can't keep the same generation in the office, right? Like we went from 70, how old is Trump? He's 80 or 75, 80-year-old man. We can't let a 75, 80-year-old man run the country, then give it to the 86-year-old man to give it back to a 75-year-old man. Like the youngest age to be president is 35. You had to be at least 35 to be president. So why are we picking people that are 40 or 50 years older than the minimum age to be president? We should get somebody who's got some sense to them. And I'm looking for some leadership. I don't know if we'll find it. I don't know if we'll find it. Donald Trump 78. I don't know if we'll find it, but I'm hopeful. And man, this I don't know how about you, but I can tell you from a business person and a Californian, these last 4 years were rough under Biden. They were just really rough. Still paying a lot of prices. Still paying a lot of debt from his policies. A lot of taxes. Still paying a lot of taxes from his policies. So I'm, people. One guy told me like you can't judge president based off of your ability to pay taxes or the prices you pay taxes. I'm like, as a libertarian, that's all we care about. Like, don't touch my bottom line. Like, if I gotta pay more taxes, we're gonna have problems. Especially if I gotta pay taxes on money I don't have. And that's what the Democrat Party really put us through. Especially it killed the mom and pops, it killed the entrepreneur and the working class. Paying taxes on money we don't have, and not giving there was some write-offs we didn't get that we normally get from anybody else. I didn't get for 4 years. And I'm like, how am I supposed to live like this? Like, this is stupid. This sucks. So I'm actually kind of happy. I want, and I don't think it's going to happen. Two things things will happen, then we'll close out with a thought. I don't think what we want to happen with Trump is we're going to get. Right. And I don't think, like, with that being said, my second thought is, I don't think that we're going to have our interest rates are going to come down, because interest rates historically don't come down. They just flatten. So meaning we still have to deal with these high gouging prices. They're just not going to go much higher up because our interest will stay the same. Like, I know he wants to, deflate, but when have we ever deflated? Sure, our gas prices may have gone down, but the cost of living is going to stay the same. So with that being said, it's very clear and obvious that no president is going to change your life. And I don't know about how many pastors we've heard say that. No president is going to change your life. No president's going to change your life. So you got to make a plan to get out of the rut that you're in, change the direction of your life, and do something different, because there's nobody coming to save you. Donald Trump is not going to save your life. He's not going to make it better. He'll put policies that, to be honest with you, all the people who voted for Trump know that they're a man or a woman. They're not confused. So, all these arguments is us worried about somebody else, right? He can make his statement, and the person who's in between genders is still going to be in between genders. Just because he made it a law doesn't mean that somebody's going to change their mind. But okay, well then I am a girl. They're still going to have their theory, right? Just because somebody who's pro-choice in the pro-life in the office, which Donald Trump is not pro-life. Even though because the pro-life Republican is in the office, doesn't mean that the country goes pro-life. People are still going to do what they do. So all it does is just change the narrative of the leader. It doesn't change the personal people that you don't get along with. They're still there. They're still not going to be happy with you. They're still going to be at your Thanksgiving talking about, I don't know what I am. They're still going to be at Easter dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, talking about I'm a they, them. They're still going to be there. The president don't change that other people. That's who they are. That's what they want to do. And yeah, I think that it takes love to fix. I think it takes personal relationships. You're going to have to build them. If you want people to change, you're going to have to love them through change. You're going to have to tolerate. You're going to have to love them. You're going to have to care for them. You're going to have to pray for them. And these are for ministers, right? A lot of people just want a guy in there to make them feel right about them. Just like you didn't change when Biden was in office. I'm going to still do this. I'm still going to believe in only two. Okay, then the president doesn't change that. You're going to have to just going to have to do you, bro. You just have to do you. The world is getting worse. And my friend Charlie will argue me and he'll say the world's getting better. I'll look at my young friend Charlie Battaglia and I'll say, listen, bro, I love you, but it's not. People say I'm a pessimistic Christian. I don't know how you can be a pessimistic Christian. I just believe the scriptures. Like it's supposed to be bad at the end. It's supposed to be bad. We want it to be good. It's not going to be good. It's supposed to be bad. That's how we know Jesus is coming back, when it gets bad, and it's bad. That's why I know Jesus is coming back. And I think it might get worse. Man, can you imagine if it got worse with Trump in the office? Well, look, LA already gone. LA's not gone. The Palisades are gone. LA's still very much alive. But you got to do you, bro. You got to take care of yourself, man. Let's get out of this program, bro. Let's do it like I said before. This is 9 years we've been talking about this dude. Trump has been in the media every day for almost 9 years. And we got 4 more years. We didn't talk about his migration plan. But you know, he's signed some bills into law that to get some people out of here who hey, listen. It's going to be some changes. Just hang on. Okay, God's in control. Prayers go out to Pastor Philip Mitchell. I don't know you personally, but I listen to you preach, and my life, every time you preach, my heart, I repent. Like, your preaching leads me to repentance. It does. It's scary how on point your preaching is. I know I'm changing, but I'm talking to I saw his video. It made my heart grieve to hear that your church is going through this madness right now. And I pray that God provides, because he will. And I know God's going to do something incredible for that church, 2819 in Atlanta, Georgia. I can tell you right now that everyone here at Heritage Park is praying for you. I'm praying for you. My homies are praying for you. We hear your cry, and I wish I can do something financially for you. I wish I could do more, but the one thing I can do is I could pray for you, man. And so Heritage Park Productions has got your back. We will keep Church 2819 in our prayers. So know that. Congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes who won the college football last night, beating my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I've been a Notre Dame fan since I was a kid. So I was really hoping for Notre Dame to pull that off. And I thought they were at one point. But congratulations to Ohio State. It's been a crazy weekend, man. Just a crazy weekend. I don't know what else to talk about. So we're going to go. But anyways, heritageparkprod.com is the website. Get your gear, get your clothes, get your hats, get all that stuff. We got new books working on right now. Hey, go check out the new single, Drowning. It's on Spotify right now. And I need to respond to this again. People are asking what happened to the Deliverance of American Dream. Spotify is on a manhunt looking for people who are using bots to stream their music. I do not use bots. But they are just, if they think that somebody's using bots to elevate their music, they just delete them. Now, one of my songs on the Deliverance from the American Dream album has hit viral, and it's literally like 50% of all my streaming comes from that one album. And it's come from another country. I did not do it. If somebody is doing it, they're doing it. I don't know why, because they wouldn't get paid off of it. But it's been on several playlists and now it's doing well. All of a sudden, Spotify took it off. And so we're fighting to get it back on. This whole time we thought it was a publishing issue. It wasn't a publishing issue. It was a Spotify issue. So we're in the process of fixing that. But listen, pick up Dreams, Visions, Memories is available. Hope is available. All the great albums are available, but Drowning, the new single, is available right now on iTunes and Spotify. And this podcast is also available on iTunes, Spotify. Make sure you leave a message. Tell us how much you like it and drop a review. All right. We'll talk to you soon, man. God bless. Stay strong. Peace out. Have a great Tuesday.